What's up, guys? Hope you all are having a good day so far. It's time to learn some economics. Uh, Today, we're going to learn about the history of the Federal Reserve, and we're also going to describe the structure of the Federal Reserve System and how the Federal Reserve has responded to major financial crises. So, first and foremost, the Federal Reserve is a central bank, which is an institution that oversees and regulates the banking system and controls the monetary base. The Federal Reserve is a central bank, which is, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Basically, the Federal Reserve is our central bank of the United States. All right, so they control our monetary base. They make those decisions on behalf of our country here. It was created in 1913 in response to frequent banking crises at the turn of the century. If you didn't know, there were actually two central banks for the United States before this. The first one was called the First Bank of the United States. Very creative name, as economists are well known for their creativity. The second central bank of the United States was called the Second Bank of the United States. Once again, building upon this creativity to come up with the best name possible. So, the Federal Reserve, they actually did change it up. Andrew Jackson abolished the Central Bank of the United States in 1836, essentially by removing all the United States Treasury's money out of their account of the central bank, which thus gutted its power. All right. Now, the Federal Reserve System consists of a board of governors in Washington, D.C., plus regional Federal Reserve banks. The Federal Reserve banks serve each of the 12 Federal Reserve districts. Here's an example of those districts, or a map, I should say, of those districts for you. So the nearest one to us is there in Dallas, San Francisco, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, Richmond, Cleveland, New York, Philadelphia, and Boston is where the other 12 are. The Board of Governors, which are the people who kind of manage the Federal Reserve, basically, they're located in Washington. So, that's just, like I said, a map for you of the Federal Reserve System. The effectiveness of the Federal Reserve System, basically the Great Depression sparked widespread bank runs in the early 1930s, which greatly worsened and lengthened the Depression. FDIC was created. However, the Federal Reserve itself didn't do too much in the Great Depression. We'll talk more about that in class and kind of what they could have done. The savings and loan crisis in the 1980s happened. So, the Fed hasn't been perfect. But these are just some examples that they did. They probably did their best work during the Great Recession in 2008 when they stepped in and helped banks dramatically stay afloat. We'll probably watch some videos about that coming up in the near future. So here's what I want you to do. Right here, I'm going to right underneath this, you'll notice there's a giant triangle in your notes section. That's not only to represent the Illuminati of the Federal Reserve, but it's also to help you kind of understand the structure of the Fed. So at the top of the Fed, right, we've got the Board of Governors. All right, and there's 7, all right, that are appointed there. They consist of these people are appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate. They serve 14-year terms, all right, non-consecutively. Underneath that, we have the Federal Reserve. Why did I do that? We have the Federal Reserve district banks. All right, and then we have at the very bottom here, member banks. So these are just the rest of the banks that operate within the Federal Reserve System. Within the Federal Reserve District Bank and the Board of Governors, all right, they pull and form the Federal Open Market Committee. All right, and I'll explain the details of that when you come to class. But essentially, this committee is the one that sets monetary policy rules for the country. All right, so it's a very powerful committee. It's made up of all the Board of Governors plus 5 Federal Reserve District presidents, including the New York Federal Reserve president is always on it because of Wall Street. The other 4 positions are rotated by the other through the other 11 members, so everyone can have a say. They all participate in meetings that set monetary policy. But anyway, so pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, write them down. We'll go over them in class. Just to review, we have learned the monetary base is controlled by the central bank. All right, and there are all the different responses to it. So, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next class.